This episode has been brought to you by CompleteNutra.com, whole family nutrition.
Fast forward to today. Now, here we are, 2020. You and I are talking in the middle of a global pandemic, actually. So here's what I've learned in the 40 years that I've been a student of health, someone who then got a degree and started championing and coaching people in health. So we have to keep the bodies moving. Bodies need rest, but bodies need movement. Bodies don't need to be sitting at desks for 12 hours a day, 8 hours a day. We have to keep moving. We have to have food that's clean, and that means really clean, because in today's world our food has been weaponized. And if you study, which I have, how certain pesticides and how, say, glyphosate reacts in our livers, failing to observe that whole phenomena, we're going to die very, very rapidly. So there's a whole lot to navigate, and that's why I'm really happy that you personally are taking on this realm, because as you're learning, it's so rich, there's so much to it, the rewards are phenomenal, and yet the challenge really is, how do you make it work in today's life? I love that you started this series with your mom's interview. If you have a good outlook mentally, a good outlook spiritually, when those disruptions occur, we can branch out and go, okay, well, I can't do this exercise, but I can do visualization. I can do meditation. I can do other things. So that we have to supplement, and we have to have access to clean foods, which usually does mean things like learning how to grow your own sprouts, learning how to grow some herbs on your front porch or on your window box. Do you have to become an urban farmer? No. But you're probably going to be better off if you have a few tricks of your home gardening and your own home herbs. You have to have a variety. So for me, I eat a lot of the same base foods, but I incorporate a lot of different herbs and seasonings to make it taste different and feel different. And the other thing about health that I think is really obvious, but nobody wants to say it, so I'm going to be that little kid who says the emperor is buck naked. Americans eat too much food. They just eat too much. I literally was on the phone with a client a couple of days ago, and she said, I'm trying the new keto and I'm gaining weight. And I said, okay, so give me what you think your keto diet, like tell me what you're doing. And she said, I have 8 hours every 24 hours where I can eat. I said, okay. And she goes, I've gained 20 pounds because I just eat for 8 hours. I stop and I clean up the dishes and I go back to my computer and then I go, I'm hungry and I can eat during these 8 hours. I said, that's not how we do this. No, you need to have probably 2 meals in those 8 hours. So Americans need to literally be a little hungry. There's some incredible white paper that show that after about the age of 25, why? Because as we evolved as Homo sapiens in those hunting-gathering days, we reproduced younger. By 25, you were done whelping your puppies, so to speak. You were done with that. So there's some very clear signs that we're supposed to start eating a little less. And it's literally true that after the age of 50, every 10 pounds that you're overweight will shorten your lifespan by 10 years. So we know Americans are eating too much. So it's not just access to healthy food, because I've literally had to talk people off the cliff where they were eating all healthy food, but just eating too much of it. So we have to learn how to develop, portion control, how much is right for me. Someone who's training to be an Ironman competitor is going to need a completely different amount of protein than someone who's fairly sedentary and does light housework.
Right.
And so the good news is we have a lot of different ways that we can challenge ourselves to learn. I love experimentation. I think experimenting is really rewarding. We can't assume that you and I know what our bodies need. And even with all my education, I can't really assume it. But I can see what happens when I do a small fast. I can see that I am shedding toxins. I can see the results of that. I can see that with intermittent fasting in my life, even though I'm over the age of 60, I can keep my weight down. I can stay fit. I can stay trim. These are really important things to me.
This episode has been brought to you by CompleteNutra.com, whole family nutrition.